What is up, everybody? Welcome on in to Alarm Fantasy Football. I'm your host, Andrew Cooper, along with Howard Bender. And today, it's trade day. Yesterday, we talked waivers. Tomorrow, we do start sits once we get a little more information who's practicing, who's not. Today, we're doing trades. We're doing DFS. And as we like to do on this show, we're going to kick things off with a little bit of a drafters draft. Okay, here we go. Pulling it on up. Drafters, one of our favorite places to play. It's a little weekly draft. Oh, look at that. Promo code right there. If you want to hit that QR code or go to fantasyalarm.com/draftersbb, you can get set up and draft with us. What we do is simple. We just go in, draft 8 players, all in your starting lineup. You can swap guys out up to 10 when we do it here. But, yeah, this is going to be a family draft. A couple new people drafting with us here, Bender. We got Ann Dunn joining with us for the first time, Rowdy. We got our guy, Chris Sellers, longtime Fantasy Alarm guy, but has yet to draft on here. And then Finn's fan Dan drafting with us for the first time. Got a couple regulars in here, Mile High Luke, Icy, Gringo Loco, Obi-Wan. Looks like Victor didn't get in. He said he was the winner from last week. Didn't make the cut this week. Sorry, Victor. You got to be quick.
I'm in, but it's not. It says I'm drafting. I don't know where it's. Why is it not? I don't know. It's not pulling up the draft board for me right now, so that's problematic.
Did you go to team and hit?
I'm on my teams right now.
Hit view draft.
It's not. Go to upcoming. There it is. It's listed.
Is that tomorrow's draft that you're saying?
No, is today Wednesday? Today is Wednesday. There we go.
You're on the clock.
There we go.
Just in time, brother.
What a pain in the ass. What a pain in the ass.
Oh, Sigma did get in. I just have it zoomed in. So there he is, picking at 10. So the reigning champ is in drafting with us, picking from the 10 spot. So, yeah, we do a little $10 draft here. Third place, you get your money back. Second place, like I got last week, you get double your money. First place, you get like $60. So a lot of fun. We do these when we can. It gives us it's a good look at the upcoming weekly slate, too, because we're drafting just for this week. So Bender with the CD Lamb spot right from the rip.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, you're looking at the Cowboys-Bears game as the highest game on the highest game total on the slate at 50.5. We've watched the Bears get throttled by the Lions. Jared Goff throwing 5 touchdown passes. I'm not saying Dak Prescott's going to throw 5 touchdown passes, but what I am saying is that Dallas is this year's Cincinnati. Dallas is clearly this year's Cincinnati. Their defense is absolutely atrocious. And, you might as well just kind of jump on board with it. Why not?
Yeah. I mean, especially because no Deron Bland. Trevon Diggs is not playing at a high level. Like, they can't stop anything pass-wise. So it is just going to be huck it, chuck it, shootouts, man. So we'll see. So maybe you're trying to fully load it. Pickens hasn't really been doing too much. Ferguson's actually looked okay. So we'll see. I went with Christian McCaffrey.
It's going to be matchup based. I mean, you're gonna end up looking at it, and we're gonna look at like DVOA data. We're gonna see like where it is. Like I put these guys into the watch list for the time being right now because you want to you want to jump in, you want to take a look at it right now. Identifying like that's the whole purpose behind the watch list is that you're identifying where you want to target. Now you spend the next couple of days honing in on it. Is CeeDee Lamb the best option? Is George Pickens a better option? Do you pivot over that way? Do you stack Bears going up against it? Do you look and do the Caleb Williams Rome Odunze thing that I did yesterday in the we did the Sunday Whale and I did Odunze with Caleb Williams on that opposite front.
We're going to talk some trade stuff today. Your typical, buy low, sell high. Odunze for me might be a buy high. He looks good this year. Last year, he made a lot of contested catches on not a great roll. Oh, who's that just took JSN? Sellers, you weasel. JSN has Sellers, classic Sellers. I mean, JSN has looked fantastic so far this year. Huge target share, huge route participation, highly consolidated target tree over there. I was going with JSN. I guess I'll have to settle for Malik Neighbors, who had like 160 yards and 2 touchdowns last week.
Right, going up against the Chiefs secondary, which we already saw. I mean, I'm sure Trent McDuffie's going to be on him a little bit more, but I mean, we've seen the Chiefs secondary also struggle not having the Jarius Sneed. So, it's a fine pick there, Coop. You were in on Malik Neighbors in week 2, so good job picking Malik Neighbors here in week 3 as well.
There you go. Why not, dude? Malik Neighbors, yeah, super chalk pick last week, but we'll take it.
I thought you were nervous about SiriusXM posting that.
I'm nervous when they post anything, dude, because I could pick Bijan Robinson if he has a bad game. People are like, "Nice call, you bozo." Like, it's just anytime that something gets put out there like that, you get a little nervous. Jordan Mason in the second round here. We're expecting no Aaron Jones, so wheels up that Bender.
I mean, listen, it's Cincinnati. It's not a good defense. Again, yeah, they've got Shamar Stewart and Trey Hendricks in there. We're going to kind of help the way, but yeah, again, it's a volume play, right? And I mean, this is what these drafts are all about, right? These drafts are all about what's coming up here in in this week. So, who's a guy that you want to go after? Who's not a guy you want to go after? I'm kind of looking around right now, trying to figure out where I want to go. With certain matchups, things like that, where I want to focus the most of my energy on. And I'll tell you what, here, I'll do it again, right? DK Metcalf, 1 touchdown catch away from 50 career touchdown catches. Aaron Rodgers, 1 touchdown pass away from being all by himself 4th all time. He's tied with Brett Favre right now. He's going to want to do it. Like, that's what, like, if you've watched Rodgers throughout his career when he's with Davante Adams has a milestone touchdown. Rodgers is giving it to him. Like, that's the type of guy Rodgers is. We might think that, he's an asshole just in general, which he totally is. But this dude does right by some of his teammates, and you have to understand that. Oh, Gringo Loco, man, up yours, dude. What's up with that?
Gringo.
I was debating or not to take Dak at this point right now. So Gringo Loco, suck it, buddy. I hate you. No, I hate you.
That's hashtag family. Suck it, and I hate you.
Right?
Hey, I mean,
better not sit next to me at Thanksgiving, buddy.
You made such a compelling argument that he had to step in and listen to you. That's the price we pay as analysts, sharing our information. The good news is a lot of the information, the best stuff, that's all behind the paywall. I mean, we've got all the rankings, all the DFS stuff, my target totem pole, my running back questionnaire, the handcuff report from Joe Galena. I mean, we have all sorts of incredible stuff back there. No better time than right now to become a member. The other thing that I do like to mention at this time of year, go and look at the schedule for hockey, go and look at the schedule for basketball. Those are starting up within a month. So if you're not a Fantasy Alarm member now, it's the perfect time to jump in, even just to check it out for a 7-day trial for this first month, because you can get set up for your fantasy football. You can get set up for your basketball, for your hockey. We have MMA, we have PGA, we have NASCAR, we have everything. So become a Fantasy Alarm member right now. Annual 25 or monthly 25 gets you 25% off the current cost. So jump in there, become part of the family. Then you get to draft with us in drafts like this and hang out in the Discord in the family room and talk ball with us. So cheers to you guys. Thank you all for coming in. We're going to get to all the questions you guys might have trade-wise or DFS-wise in the chat today. Tomorrow, we're going to do our start sits, so try and hold on to those. Howard, I know you've been getting beat up on this draft, and I hate to do it to you, but I got to take the best player available on my board right now, and it's Chuba Hubbard.
Oh, I mean, listen, that's fine. That's fine. I love Chuba, obviously. I mean, listen, it's a volume play. It's a perpetual volume play. I'm more annoyed that Obi-Wan Outlaw took Roma Dunze.
I figure Obi-Wan took a little bit of heat off me there.
Right? Like, what are you doing? But I like it, man, right? Like, they're thinking in the right spot here. And that I can totally dig. But wouldn't it just be the craziest thing in the world if this was the DJ Moore game and not the Roma Dunze game? Listen, I mean, that's just, one of the things that we're definitely sorting out. I was going back and forth with I've been having some spicy conversations with people over the last 2 days. I've been arguing with a Bears fan who heard me on the radio say I'd rather have Roma Dunze than DJ Moore at this point. And so he's jumping on me. And then I had another guy, a San Francisco fan, who got all bent out of shape because I said that Mac Jones is probably going to do exactly what Brock Purdy's doing anyway. So what are we doing there, right? Like,
Right.
once again, making that ridiculous contract they handed to Brock Purdy, one of the dumbest things in the world. And then he was like, yeah, I don't even remember what his comment was, but I was like, why don't you just go and look at what Dallas is going through right now, right? Having paid all of that money to Dak Prescott. Did Dak Prescott really command all of that money?
Look at the Dolphins with Tua. I mean, teams are just paying guys just to pay guys, and I get both sides of it because it's like, they look at the teams like the Browns who just cannot figure it out at the quarterback position and just been terrible for years and years and years. So they're like, okay, if we get any sort of guy, let's just keep him here. But the going rate is like crippling if your quarterback isn't incredible, So
Yeah.
pretty rough one. Good point in the chat here. I didn't even notice Amon-Ra St. Brown fall in the third round. That's a bargain. That is a big time value there. Also, Trey McBride falling the fifth round to Rowdy. I know it's the 49ers and it's Fred Warner and it's not the best matchup in the world, but I mean, that's free real estate in the fifth
Well,
round.
the question is, I mean, you're looking at Amon-Ra St. Brown, and are you expecting another 115-yard, 3-touchdown game against the Ravens? What are they Monday Night Football? I think they're Monday Night Football on the road in Baltimore.
Yeah,
we all know Jared Goff kind of has his struggles on the road as well. So again, for a week-to-week draft, I mean, listen, it's week to week, right? I mean, if you're sitting there looking at Jordan Mason in the second, Amon-Ra in the third, Dak Prescott in the third. I mean, this is just a matter of who you think is going to pop this week. This isn't about, like, that's one of the things. Like, it's always, we go through these situations in fantasy football, right? We spend all of our time doing research and best ball drafts. And then it's time for all of our season long drafts. And then what do? We start drafting our season-long teams like we were drafting best ball tournament teams.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you have to make that adjustment. So now if you're doing a draft like this, you have to make the adjustment that you're just going week to week now, right? It's not about, who's got that rest of season value that you're looking for. This is, there's no upside. We want upside for this week. That's what we want. We want upside for this week and only this week. Do you know how many people I'm sitting here right now trying to guide through trades because they've got like Josh Allen, Khalil Shakir, and Keon Coleman. They've got Caleb Williams with Rome Odunze and DJ Moore. Like, there's so many people who stacked
right
in season long. And we've told you guys that it's like, it's not the move to make. You don't want to overinvest, right? We had a guy yesterday, right, who's in the chat. He's like, I've got Chase and I've got Higgins, so I have to go after, Browning, don't I? And I'm like, well, do you though? Like, do you really need to go after Browning? Is that like the necessary pick for you? I don't necessarily know if it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I worry.
Yeah.
I worry.
I mean, and it creates such a headache doing those like big stacks with teams like the Bills or the Packers, who have pretty much shown us that they don't want to have one guy. They want to spread the ball around, dude. So yeah. In best ball, great. You get all the points every week, no matter what happens. In redraft, you're just creating headaches for yourself. So you're right. I mean, maybe the Amon-Ra pick, maybe I'm getting too excited by the name brand. But I think in the third round, regardless, I think that's solid value for Finn's fan Dan. I think that's a good pick there. Kenneth Walker in the fifth round is another one that I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had already maxed out my running backs there, and I was sitting there looking at that, being like, "Oh man, maybe
James Conner." I don't love grabbing James Conner, but again, I don't totally hate it. I probably should have gone in a different direction. Right? Probably should have gone a different direction.
I was hoping people would sleep on QB and I would get Jalen Hurts with AJ Brown there. James Conner. The thing about James Conner though is that even I'm a big Trey Benson fan, but the role that he has carved out is not much more than what you would get from, Justice Hill, right? Like, sure, on paper, sometimes it'll look like 30-40% of the snaps, but all the meaningful run work is going to is still going to James Conner. So it's not. People might be getting too over their skis fading a guy like. I got to make my pick. Fading a guy like James Conner at this stage.
I looked up how to spell skis. There's very because I wanted to use it in an article I was writing. People going over their skis. I just couldn't figure out. Should I just do it with an E at the end? Should I not do it with an E at the end? Is it a double E? Is it SKEZE? These are the questions that kind of run through my head.
People don't get it with writing. Like sometimes when you stare at something for so long that it stops looking like something. That happens to me all the time with writing. Where I look at a word and I'm like, that can't possibly be the word. I don't think I've ever one time spelled guarantee correctly on the first try.
That's a shortcoming of the Massachusetts educational system. I mean,
we have the hardest state name to spell.
You do. Y'all spend so much time learning how to spell Massachusetts that you could any other word. Any other word.
There's the way people say R's and stuff around here. You don't know. I mean, it turns into a mess.
By the way, over the weekend, did you see that in the Bengals game, a Patriots game broke out in the stands?
Why? What happened?
Oh, there was just Joe Burrow went down, and there were like 10 guys all in like Bengals jerseys, all slugging it out with each other. Yeah. It was like this crazy video, and it was so funny. So Jim Bowden on the Fantasy Alarm show yesterday was like, he threw a penalty flag at them for being grown men and behaving like this. And he's like, you're all wearing Joe Burrow jerseys. What's the problem? And I was like, I think I found, if you look closely in the video, I think we found the antagonist, and he wasn't wearing a Joe Burrow jersey. The name on the back of his jersey was Your Mom, and it was jersey number 69.
So that dude is
that's the guy who started this fight.
That dude's a genius, dude. Everyone knows that exact guy.
It was so funny because you watch the video and like there are like 5 different video angles of it, like for you to like kind of check out. You see the one dude right in the middle there with the Your Mom 69 in there.
Yeah, and look at this, dude.
Oh, yeah, I had it all queued up. I was ready to do it.
Greg almost spoiled my pick. There's 2 more tight ends I like for this week. Let's see if you
Dang. I'm gonna go. Oh my Lord. Ugh. The tight end landscape this week is not pretty. So I'm just gonna go with a little bit of correlation here. In my lineup, and I'm just going to go with a little Jake Tonjes.
There you go. Gringo managed to get his Dak and Ferg stack there, and Pickens. So Gringo with the rug pull, the big weekly stack. We'll see. We gonna see. All right, so there you have it, folks.
This is why we want new people in here. We don't want the same crew. Y'all are a bunch of jackasses. Stop it.
Yeah, well, Finn Sandan, it was his first time in here, and he got a bunch of great values. I mean, Puka and ARSB, that could be 30 targets right there. Wandale Robinson, another guy that has 18 targets through 2 games. J.K. Dobbins, who's holding down a pretty square role there. Great draft from him. I mean, it's a sharp room. So, folks, if you want to draft with us, hit me up on the Discord, hit me up on the Twitter, and I can get you guys all set up. Just go to fantasyalarm.com/draftersbb. Or just hit that QR code or go to their site, download their app, and use Alarm when you get set up. That way they'll match 100% of your deposit up to $100. You can jump in and do these drafts with us. It's a good way to get our mindset right for this week. We're focusing on this week. What are the good matchups? What are the bad matchups? So that's what we're doing. So jump in with us, fantasyalarm.com/drafters. All right, time to get to it today. Today we're hitting a little DFS. We're hitting on trade questions. What do you want to start with? Should we start with the chat, Bender? Get some trade questions.
I actually want to start it out. You can start it out any way you want. I want to start it out by shouting out Fantasy Alarm subscriber Kim Newman, who used our prop finder to find on Fantasy Alarm to find some props that she was doing. She won $1,000 using our prop finder. And today she confessed to everybody what she did with her winnings, and she bought the Lego Death Star. And I tell you what, I mean, first and foremost, as somebody who knows, I know a couple, and they're absolute sweethearts. They're hardcore Lego people, and they've got like shit all over their house. It's like all Lego and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I understand the obsession. I really do. $1,000, $999.99 to buy a Lego Death Star. And she was like, I mean, she's like, it's always been something I've wanted. I've never had like that, like just like discretionary money. And she's, her and her son now are going to sit there and build this amazing Lego Death Star. So I just want to give her a quick shout out here. Kim, fantastic work, longtime subscriber. Emails me. We trade emails all the time. She's done listener leagues and things like that. So I just got to give her a little shout out. Not that I don't love you guys all in the chat, but do you guys have a Lego Death Star?
Didn't think so. I gave her a quick retweet with the sand people gif.
Right. That's perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, fired up. We always love to see the wins, and make sure you're if you use any of our products, definitely tag us and post that, because that's my favorite thing, seeing that. We have the obviously we have the trophy room on the Discord where people post all their wins and stuff. I mean, what would you rather have? Millionaire Mike bought a yacht, but a Death Star? I think I'd go with
wow. I mean, yeah, Millionaire Mike buying that was
buying the boat. The boat is probably the biggest win, but this Death Star looks like it has a lot.
Bob Boris bought the boat. Millionaire Mike also, I think, got one too, but Bob Boris definitely bought the boat.
That's so cool. All right, well, let's jump in. Why don't we jump in and hit some questions in the chat first? Then we'll give some of our buy low, sell highs, and then we'll hit on some DFS. So Helium was in here first. Tracy plus Kirk for Swift. Is that too much? Starving at the RB position. We get to see Christian Kirk.
I don't think it's too much. I think it's gonna be tough. I mean, I hope you make this deal and you make it fast, because right now Tracy's losing ground, like in a fast way. Cam Scatabo is definitely getting the attention.
Yeah, Cam Scatabo he basically in the second half of that game, like at first Tracy started, Scatabo got a couple looks, but he kind of forced their hand. Scatabo did, the way he was running, and he might come out and start next week with Tracy being more of a pass down back. So I would definitely be looking to do that move ASAP. What else we got here in the chat? Just a lot of people saying what's up, how we doing today. I love when I see the people in the chat saying what up to each other. That's the family stuff right there. Jake Browning time. Yeah, I mean, dude, how much did he go for in your Scott Fishbowl vendor?
Full 100.
Full hundo. Yeah, I think he went 93 in mine.
We had two bids, full hundo. One was Scott Frankel and the other was my wife. And I guess somehow Frankel, my wife hasn't made a single waiver wire move, but yet Frankel, who's got a better record than her, I guess somehow had the higher priority as well. I don't really understand, but
Frankel. Can't trust those Vegas people, dude. He pulled some strings. Laney on Coop in the other room watching, hanging out. You love to hear it. Jerry's taking Buffalo in a survivor pool. What do you feel about that? Buffalo going against the Dolphins on Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a good spot. It's a home game. Point spread is there. I mean, Miami's just terrible. Miami is absolutely terrible. I know that there are some people who sit there and they say, don't take a divisional game. I feel like Miami on the road here
in this case
is probably worthwhile.
Yeah. The trap, if there's a trap, it's on the spread, not on the actual win. Yeah. There we go.
That minus 800 money line looking good.
Yeah, Jerry wants in. Jerry, shoot me a DM, dude, and we'll get you squared away. We'll get you in there so that you can rock with us. Because it is a lot of fun. I think we're gonna do an 8-team one tomorrow. So I'm gonna get that set up in Discord and we'll get that going. I want to see what that looks like on here. The whale, the big contest, the $11 contest, that's only 5 teams. And those get really spicy. You got some really tough decisions in that one. But I want to see what an 8-team looks like. So we'll do that one tomorrow. Let's see. A lot of people talking about the draft. Kenny Galladay to the Giants. Is that true?
No. Yeah, about 5 years ago.
I'm just double checking. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen, dude. Okay. Deep League. Trade Jamison Williams and Chubb for Kenneth Walker.
I think you're giving up too much here.
Yeah. JMO for Walker is probably about right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel like you need to give up Chubb. But if Chubb is like a player that I always encourage people to consider if Chubb is like nowhere near ever cracking your lineup, then maybe you just do it anyway, just to get the better player. But you shouldn't have to give up more than just JMO. That should be a
No, I
straight up.
mean, I'd offer Chubb and a lesser receiver at least, right? I mean,
Right.
JMO
Yeah.
again, another blow up game this past week. He's just this kid's on a different trajectory right now, and I said it before. I mean, I know Amon Ra just coming off a 3 touchdown game, but JMO, I think by year end could be close to outpointing him.
Yeah, could be. Nico and Moondog for it looks like Derrick Henry and Worthy.
Oh, I would definitely do that if you have the ability to just kind of keep Worthy on the bench this week, because I don't know if he's going to play this week, maybe next week, but I mean to acquire a tank like Derrick Henry, considering I mean, listen, I like C.J. Stroud and I love Nico Collins, but these guys don't have it really together.
No, yeah, and for me, like Nico for Henry is close enough to being fair, and I have Worthy way ahead of Mooney. Like Mooney's a solid player, but Worthy could be an awesome when he's backing up and running. So definitely grab that one. This is the other one: JMO and Chubb for Bucky Irving.
JMO and Chubb for Bucky. Again, you're giving up too much here.
Giving up a lot, but I think that makes a little more sense. I mean, Bucky Irving had the best. I know Rachaad White scored the touchdown late, but Bucky Irving, the past 2 games, over 70% snap share. That's better than any single game he had last year. His usage is oddly better. I don't know why people are panicking. Like when you look at the behind the scenes stuff, it's wheels up for Bucky Irving. He's going to be just fine. Nobody in my league wants to trade. I hate when that happens. Trying to trade a wide receiver for RB. I'm able to trade maybe London, Pittman Jr., Zay Flowers, and Shakir. So I would look to trade. I wouldn't trade Pittman Jr. because he doesn't have enough name value for what his upside is. Zay Flowers is a guy that I would consider as a potential sell high. He has looked really good. He's been the top target getter, but historically speaking, like Zay Flowers is the kind of guy that comes out, has a couple good games, then it just disappears for a couple games. We know that, Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry can put the team on their back, and they're eventually going to have Likely back, and things could be a little more spread out. So I think Flowers is a guy where people are going to look at the leaderboard and see him as like the wide receiver 2 or 3 or wherever he is right now, and you might be able to get a serious running back and feel good about that. If you could trade Shakir for anyone that starts for you, I would do that too. Right? Like Shakir is not necessarily – he's fine.
Dude, I'm happy to get rid of Shakir.
Right. It's like
I'm more than happy. I'm more than happy to dish off any of those like interchangeable cogs in the Buffalo offense.
Egbuka for Trey Benson. I would probably keep Egbuka there. Yeah, I love Trey Benson. But if you have Connor, I think that I mean, it's safe and all, but Egbuka could just he could just stay good. Like this team's going to still run a lot of 3 wide receiver sets. I have Walker lost out on Sharp, so it'll be a good time to try and trade for him. I mean, if your lineup is full and good to go, like if you're just as soon as you believe that you're set and you have 2 good players on your bench, then I would feel fine having handcuffs. I usually wait until close to the trade deadline once I have some bye weeks out of the way to start like trading for handcuffs and like adding a second defense and doing the things that you do to prepare for playoffs. So I'd hold off a little bit on trading for handcuffs for now.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, in all honesty, in that situation, you're gonna see. I mean, Seattle hosting the Saints this week. I think you're gonna see a lot of it's Kubiak revenge game. Not really a revenge game, but nevertheless, Kubiak. He's familiar with the Saints. He's familiar with their defense. As long as he's running that outside zone scheme, which is really where Kenneth Walker is his bread and butter. The guy who's got Charbonnet is going to see him like fizzle out for a second week in a row, and he's probably going to drop him.
Right. You're going to be able to get it for cheap. That's a great call, Bender. That he did have the big week 1, but the things are trending in Walker.
It wasn't even that big of a week 1. That was the funny thing.
Big snap share, yeah.
He had a big snap share, and he had a decent snap share in week 2. But if you look at what his snap share and his touches were, it was like he was loaded up in the 4th quarter as they were just kind of killing the clock. So, yeah, I think that Charbonnet, if he doesn't have a strong game this week, I'm bet you there are people are going to start dropping him.
Kenneth Walker had a couple classic big runs in that zone scheme last week. He had this one cutback that was just poetry, dude. That is just, I mean, the scheme is built for him. It's perfect. Question on the Mason Taylor. His usage seems fine, but he just seems slow to come on because of the ankle. Is he a hold because of usage, or would you drop him for Chig? I would drop him for Chig because Chig has very similar usage, but also is getting targets. But Mason Taylor, again, this is a rookie. He at least has a big role. He lost a couple pass snaps to Jeremy Ruckert, but he was going up against Matt Milano this week. And of course, Bender, Matt Milano is hurt once again, and he's going to miss the Thursday game. That's what Matt Milano does. He gets hurt and he misses a bunch of time. When he does play, he's a nightmare matchup for tight ends. So they were never really going to go to Taylor in that matchup anyway. But we're just, again, a lot of these rookies, we're just monitoring them, and because they don't blow up until later on, man. They don't. It's the case often with these guys. Again, remember, Amon-Ra St. Brown didn't do anything for the first 11 games. Odell Beckham Jr., not much. Mike Evans. And these guys, as they get acclimated and start figuring it out, that's when things go crazy. And other guys start getting hurt, and that's the way she goes. So drop Ollie Gordon for Rachaad White. Yeah, you don't need to hold Ollie Gordon.
I don't think you need to add Rachaad White either.
Terrible. Yeah. I mean, Rachaad White at least plays a little bit. Like Ollie Gordon. Yeah. I mean, if you're in one of those leagues where you can drop guys after they play, you might as well just wait until the Thursday game is over. But if he's going to lock into your line, if he's going to lock onto your bench, I would drop him before the game and just leave that roster spot empty so you can add somebody at some point. Sell high on Ibuka with Godwin coming back. It's a thought. It's definitely a thought, but with those type of things, never sell just to sell. Sell if you can get someone back that you're confident is going to be in your lineup for the rest of the year, then I would consider it. But don't just sell for another hype pick. I had somebody, selling like Buka for Trey Benson is not something I would do. Selling him even for like an RJ Harvey, where we hope at some point he gets a bigger role, I wouldn't do that because Ibuka has a role right now, and he's still going to be a guy that plays a ton of snaps. He just might move from the second target to the third. So if you can get somebody that's going to be in your lineup definitively, then do it. Coop Howard, why do you like the whale on drafters? For those that haven't drafted anyone, I mean, I like it because it's the other contests on there are only at the $3 buy-ins, and the prizes to me aren't big enough for the amount of teams you're going up against. That's why I like the $11 feels like it's a reasonable pay-in. There's only 2,500 teams in it, so you're not going up against like 600,000 like some of these other DFS sites. And the winner gets $4,000, so it's like 11 to $4,000. It feels like a good balance for me. And it's only 5 teams, which is also fun. So if you're not set up on drafters, get in there, see if you can win one of those contests. I haven't hit big. Bender, have you cashed in any of those whales yet?
I did cash in a whale that I did for week 1. I didn't win the whole thing, but I cashed for it. I got like $35 back for something like that. Again, what it is it's about who you're competing against. Like Coop said, it's 2,500 people in this contest to win $4,000. Go look at like $11 contests all over it, like DraftKings and FanDuel and Underdog even. Like find something within that price range and then tell me how many people are you competing against. Maybe you're not getting the $40,000 top prize from wherever, but I don't know anybody who's going to thumb their nose at $4,000. If I win the whale at $4,000, what does that mean? That means that I can level up with my other contests. Like all of a sudden now I'm not sitting there putting in $5 or $11 and competing against, 10,000 different people, right? All of a sudden now I'm putting in like $50, right? Because I'm playing with house money at this point right now, right? So that's what your goal is. Your goal for any DFS play is to level up in your entry fees. Because if you look at like some of the contests, and I mean like the NFL bomb on FanDuel, I'm talking about any of these like contests over on DraftKings, like you want to be able to compete in things that have $50, $75, $100, because what happens is that the pay lines become lower. Like, because you got fewer people who are competing against you, and those fewer people are building their lineup. Like, that's why I like single entry, $50, because everybody's only got one shot, one bullet there. And if I know more than them, then great. But what you're doing is you're looking at, like, for lower pay lines. Look at the pay lines for the Millie Maker, because people are throwing in 150 lineups,
Right.
and they're using optimizers and whatnot, and all of a sudden it's like you got to score 235 points on DraftKings in order to do that. But if you play in a higher cost contest, 165 can win you the whole thing. Like,
Right.
that's what your goal is. That's where, I think that's a very strong misconception that everybody has. You're dying a slow death by 1,000 cuts. $5, $5, $5, $5, $5, right? Maybe you win 35 back on that. So your next 7 contests are free or whatever. But if you just put in $5 here, $5 there, it's all going to start to add up. That's why you want to level up into more expensive contests. That's the way to do it.
Right. So when you hit in the whale, then you go over. Next up is the $55 shark, and there's only 200 teams in that, and you have a much better shot of winning. But you're paying up to 55. So that's kind of the game plan for us. Maybe we'll do a little shark action one of these weeks. That one's 2 QB, so I got to dig into that one. I was taking a brief look at it the other day, but yeah, 2 QB setting for that one. So that's a spicy boy. We got a waiver question still because FFPC waivers don't run yet. Basically, the question is how much, if you completely missed on tight end, how much of your fab to spend on Jatavian Sanders? The thing with Jatavian Sanders, I love that he got 10 targets, but he still didn't play a full snap share, and they played 85 snaps last week. So, I mean, I would definitely, if he's going to start for you right away, I would spend 10, 15% just to make sure that you get someone to start. But, like, you don't have to go crazy because he's not going to be head and shoulders above everybody else. It's just could just be a small sample size. Two Socks says Najee Harris, Algier Gainwell, Gordon, Justice Hill available waiver pickups to trade for either Shakir, Pittman Jr., Addison Flowers. I don't know. You're not going to be able to add those guys and trade them for those players.
Yeah, right. I mean, Najee Harris is the guy who's got the most value out of that group right there, because he's got the path to touches. But you're going to pick up Najee and then pair him up with somebody to get one of these other guys. If that's the case, I mean, I'd be looking at Pittman and Flowers, and that's probably about it.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, Shakir is fine in a full point PPR format, but there's just not a good ceiling there. It's just
not enough.
Really not
enough upside. Ethan, to be honest, Tyrod Taylor historically is about the same type of passer as Justin Fields. So I'm not sure actually. There's going to be rust there, and they haven't really played together. So yeah, it's not. You'd rather just have Fields, but it's not the massive downgrade that it would be. We losing going from Joe Burrow to Jake Browning. You know what I mean? Like, Fields wasn't necessarily the craziest passer as is. So for one, I'm just going to continue to start Garrett Wilson where I have him this week, next week, whether Fields is playing or not. That's my plan with Garrett Wilson.
Sounds like a good plan, Coop.
You feel the same way?
I mean, yeah, I think that, listen, he's a great receiver. Is Tyrod Taylor somebody who I love or who I want to trust in? No, but he's probably a better passer overall than Fields, right? I mean, he doesn't have the mobile upside that Fields he used to. Before the doctor like stabbed him in the lung with a needle, right, and ruined his career, right? But I mean, he doesn't have that mobile upside there, but he is fine for passing. So yeah, I think that he's definitely usable without Justin Fields. Tell me what Justin Fields has done passing wise that makes you think that he's all of a sudden irreplaceable.
Right, exactly. Like it hurts that we can't start Fields. You're not going to start Taylor, but we're going to continue to start Garrett Wilson. We usually don't. We try not to do start sits today, folks. So Jay Smells, this is official warning. Try and get those in tomorrow. We need more information, more practice data. But he needs a flex. Henderson, JCM, Jalen Warren, Jay Williams. I don't know which Williams that is.
Starting the flex. Henderson, Krosky, Merritt, Jalen Warren, Javonte Williams. Hollywood Brown or Quinshawn Judkins. Start only one. Are any better options than Garrett Wilson?
No, start
No.
Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, start Garrett Wilson.
Easy enough. There we go. And if you had to, if the question isn't involving Garrett Wilson, I'd probably just start Javonte Williams with his usage right now. You know, he's a full-time every down guy that is doing pretty well. Though I did hear, Aaron Rodgers said that he thinks that Jalen Warren deserves to catch some more passes. Did you hear that one, Bender?
I did not hear him say that, but that's encouraging because Rodgers is like he's slowly but surely turning into a big check down guy.
Plays favorites. He said every time we, I believe the words were every time we throw him the ball, something good happens. And last week he had like a 60-yard catch with a couple broken tackles. So hey, maybe some more dumb downs there. Should I give AJ Brown and BTJ for Dunze, Keenan, and Evans? No, because Keenan isn't there's ideally you don't have somebody like Keenan Allen in your lineup. Like when you're trying to compete for a championship in fantasy, you don't want to have Keenan Allen in the lineup. You want AJ Brown and BTJ to hit, and then if you need somebody else, you hit on somebody on the waivers. Like you're just downgrading your top two wide receivers and then accepting a kind of mediocre option as number three. How do we feel about BTJ? Vibes seem rancid with the entire Jags team talking about contact. I mean, Trevor Lawrence came out for 3
definitely
touchdowns.
seem rancid. That's actually a good description of it. Because I've kind of felt that too a little bit watching these last 2 games.
The Jaguars and Dolphins are bad vibes teams. There are some teams that are bad. It is funny how there are some teams that aren't playing well, but the vibes are still fine. But yeah, not good. Bears have bad vibes too. I feel like.
I think I have more confidence in Liam Cohen riding the ship in Jacksonville than I do Mike McDaniel in Miami.
Yes. Oh man, McDaniel, dude, he's starting to talk like he's like a depressed poet lately. Have you seen him in the conferences, dude? He's like, yeah, we're gonna try and win next week, probably. I'm like, that's your response? Like, you got to give people something. He's losing his mind over there, man.
He is losing his mind. I mean, listen, there are some guys who just. I mean, all right, when he went from San Francisco to Miami, he was like, you know what it is? You know what? He's Nate from Ted Lasso. Yeah, he is Nate from Ted Lasso. He was the wonder kid, right? And he went and he took over in Miami and everything was all rainbows, lollipops, and sunshine. And then all of a sudden it all kind of fell apart on him and social media turned on him and the team wasn't winning. And what did he end up having to do? He had to go crawling back. To Ted Lasso. Mike McDaniel is Nate from Ted Lasso. I think we're gonna have to do something like that. I think we're gonna have to do a fantasy alarm show. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow, Coop, where we're like take a player and equate him to a TV character.
2000, there it is right there. 2027 offensive coordinator of the year, Mike McDaniels with the San Francisco 49ers. Right? Back with Kyle Shanahan. You can see it coming. Right back home where he'll be.
I'm telling you, that's what it is. I'm gonna bring that up. I'm gonna bring that up at the next meeting.
Right now, he's just a sweaty dude with an expensive watch that's having a hard time in press conferences.
Just having a hard time. He's reading. He's guarantee you he's reading his own press and he's reading his own social media and he's getting really upset and really bonkers about it.
Yeah, he's got the brain's a little scrambled by Twitter. All right, folks, we're going to jump over. Why don't we talk a little DFS real quick? We'll come back to the chat. Reminder, start sits tomorrow. We're going to do an entire show of start sit questions. So I know Jason Ortiz, you dropped like 7 start sits in there. We're going to hit those next week, tomorrow, 100%. But some of the players here that are mentioned, some of the cornerbacks and linebackers, we don't know if they're going to practice today. We don't know if it matters if they practice today or not. Tomorrow, we're going to have a lot more information that will actually help us answer some of these questions, man. So tomorrow, we're going to be doing start sits. Today, if you have trade questions or DFS questions, though, we're going to hit on those. Bender, what are some – hit me with one of your favorite narratives for DFS this week. I love a good narrative. Before we just get into individual players, what are you looking at? What are you leaning into?
What am I leaning into? I mean, again, if you're just talking about DFS, it's all about matchups. So I can't not get into specific players, right? Like I just
Of
put a
course.
video out
Like,
there
you
talking
know,
about three of my favorite narratives, or at least like statistical milestones that are kind of in play for this week. Aaron Rodgers, 1 touchdown pass away from a career, from being fourth all time. DK Metcalf, 1 away from 50. You've got Matthew Stafford, who's 2 touchdown passes away from 100 career touchdown passes as a Los Angeles Ram. Right, that's another one that was in there. What was the third one that I did? I can't even remember now. I have to go back and look.
yeah. The Rodgers
But I mean,
Metcalf one, that one is a smash, especially if Christian Gonzalez misses again this week, right? Because he posted something on his Instagram like, new week, new something. But I mean, he has not practiced this entire year. He told reporters it's very frustrating. He's getting impatient. If he's out again, Rodgers to Metcalf is an absolute slam dunk because the Patriots haven't been able to stop anything without him out there.
The third one was Kansas City Chiefs. Third one was Kansas City Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes needs, what is he? I think he needs 3 touchdown passes to pass Peyton Manning to be the guy who's thrown the most touchdown passes in his career in his first 9 seasons.
Ooh, okay.
And if you add to that, Travis Kelce is 2 touchdown catches away from 80 career touchdown catches. That was the third one that I threw out there for everybody. So, I mean, listen, they're going up against the Giants,
Right.
who are
That's a get right game.
terrible.
Dude, can you imagine being the Giants and with an 0-2 Chiefs team after facing 2 tough teams coming to town? This is going to be punching bag city. This is going to be get right game 100%.
Yeah, this is the slump buster.
Right. So just this last week when the Lions lost to the Vikings and they put 50 on the Bears, Patrick Mahomes and the boys about to bring the hammer down on the Giants, dude. So that's gonna be an interesting one. I'm looking at some here. One that I think is gonna be sneaky. Again, our own John and Pemba tweeted out a lineup that just had Wentz in there, right? Because he's 4,000. So same thing we did with Mac Jones last week. It's almost like it doesn't matter who the guy is. 4,000 is the bare minimum price on DraftKings. You get him in there. But I will say this: T.J. Hawkinson did not look good with J.J. McCarthy over the first couple of weeks. I don't think that's T.J. Hawkinson's fault. I think it's just the offense was sluggish and McCarthy wasn't delivering the football. I went back and took a peek at Carson Wentz's tendencies, and every year he was a starting QB for the Eagles, the tight end group got double-digit end zone targets. So Dallas Goedert, since Jalen Hurts has been the quarterback, has never had more than 4 end zone targets. Back when Wentz was the quarterback, though, he was a target machine in the red zone and the end zone because Wentz likes doing that. So Wentz could come in this week. Still no Jordan Addison. One more week without Jordan Addison. So I'm using Hawkinson here. I'm using Hawkinson in my one and done league too this week, where it's like, if Addison's coming back next week, I'm just going to throw Hawk out there and we'll see how it looks. Maybe Wentz looks terrible, but Wentz is like we kind of said with Tyrod Taylor. Wentz actually might be a better NFL passer at this very moment than J.J. McCarthy is. He probably is. J.J. McCarthy is the youngest quarterback in the league, and he looked pretty bad the first 2 weeks. So I'm doing a little Wentz Hawk stack. I'm doing a little bit with the Indianapolis Tennessee game. I got Chig Okonkwo in some lineups going one way. I think he's very undervalued considering his usage. He's like the only guy in there that's gotten 10 targets over his first 2 weeks, and he's playing like 80% of the snaps. That's priced under 4,000. You've got guys. I mean, it's like Tucker Kraft has 11 targets. Chig Okonkwo has 10. Tucker Kraft, he scored touchdowns. Maybe Chig gets a touchdown this week. He got 6 targets last week. And then coming back the other way, Michael Pittman, just a guy who, had the bad matchup this week with the Denver Broncos, but he's still the top wide receiver on that team. Daniel Jones looks good. I could see him bouncing back in a big way this week. So that's kind of what I'm looking at leaning into.
Yeah, San Francisco against Arizona could have some sneaky upside there as well. I think that I'm not a huge fan of what's going on with San Francisco's defense, in particular the secondary. Right, they lost Hufanga last year, and that they just never really replaced him well enough. Diamador Lenore is a good quality guy, but I mean he's not going to contain Marvin Harrison Jr. And I think that, with Kyler Murray's mobility, James Conner, in the backfield, Trey McBride over the middle of the field, McBride, Fred Warner is going to be a fun matchup to sit and watch this week. That's going to be a fun one.
That's good news for Marv, right? Because
that is very good news for Marv.
Fred Warner's a bit of a problem. He's a bit of a problem. So could be a Marv bounce back week 2. I need it. I got a lot of Marv out there. But
just lock Bijan Robinson into your lineups, baby. That's it. Bijan? Carolina.
Yeah. Oh my God. They've been brutal against the run, and maybe a week to fade Drake London, given what we've seen from that defense, right? Just there's no reason to go after JC Horn. Like, just run it, throw it over the middle.
Yeah. I mean, Carolina's giving up like 200 yards through the air. They're definitely, their DVOA marking right now against the tight end has been terrible. So you could look to Kyle Pitts. But yeah, like, I'm not, that's one of the funny things is, like, a lot of people look at that matchup and they're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to stack, Penix and London and Pitts, and it's going to be a great spot. No, not if they're just going to run it out with Bijan. So.
Yeah, Ethan wants to know if we're going back to the well with Juwan Johnson this week.
Sure.
Yeah, until they bump his price up, like, he's still under $4,000. I don't know. Do they not have spreadsheets at DraftKings? Do they not see what we're seeing? Because this guy's just running every route and playing every snap, and he's going up against Seattle, who so far this year, I think only one team has allowed more points against the two tight ends than Seattle. Like, it's only a 2-game sample size, but I'm intrigued by that. No question.
I love that stat, that sheet that we have. I'll just throw this in for everybody into the chat just so that they can locate it here. But the points allowed by position.
Yeah, that's great.
I mean, it's still kind of, the data is still kind of evening itself out right now, and it's, it gets better and better as you go through it. But if you kind of look at it here, yeah, Seattle's given up 20 points per game to the tight end position. Ravens have been struggling against the tight end. Panthers, Cardinals, Packers, Commanders. I mean, you just you go through it that way. And again, you have to look at each situation like individually and say, is this something that I'm going to do? Because, Seattle might, really suck against the tight end. But, if let's say the Saints weren't targeting Juwan Johnson was getting like 3 or 4 targets per game, then I'd probably be like, just go and look for another one. But the fact that this dude is seeing the snap share and the target share that he's seeing right now, that just sets it up for a really nice moment.
Yep, absolutely. And Kamal, the Kamal here wants to know best tight end DFS, best tight end / defense. I mean, I'm gonna have my full tight end article out tomorrow, but as Howard pointed out, and he just mentioned it again, if you can afford Brock Bowers and he's healthy, the Commanders have just been. I mean, yeah. Bobby Wagner is not covering anybody. He can still tackle. He only, like we said on the Sirius XM show, he only moves in one direction these days. That's forward. So definitely use the Commander. Definitely use him. We're looking at Juwan Johnson, but one of our favorite defenses this week is Seattle. They're kind of expensive, but Seattle against the Saints. Are there any defenses that you've dug in on? I will say, I got one here with the Patriots as a pay down. Aaron Rodgers is giving up some sacks pretty easily, and he also threw a couple picks last week. So, but again, you're gonna need Christian Gonzalez to play to go there. But if he's out, then I'm not going there. But if he is playing, then 2,600 is very cheap. Are there any defenses you're loving this week?
I like Atlanta. I'll look at Tampa Bay if Tyrod Taylor is playing as well. If you want to just kind of lock down on some home teams there, because that's usually the just a decent way to kind of go about it. I think that obviously Seattle, we just said, Atlanta on the road against Carolina, I think is good. Tampa at home, I think is good. Yeah, I would probably take a look at the Colts on the road in Tennessee, just because it's Tennessee.
Right. And coming back the other way, the Steelers against the Patriots might actually be a decent one too. I know they're on the road, but Patriots
Green Bay against Cleveland is probably going to be a good matchup. Cleveland's, Cleveland's got their difficulties. Green Bay looks, nice and strong now that Micah Parsons is in the middle there. So, I mean, there are definitely some options there. I've got a couple of tight ends in the DFS watch list that I'm checking out as well. And then in the playbook, I'll have, my top 5 defenses to use.
Yeah, that's why you got to get that Fantasy Alarm membership up and running. Use promo code monthly25 right now. If you want to just check out the monthly, you get a 7-day free trial, or you can use annual 25 right now and get going over there and get set up, because it's the best month to do it. You can crush DFS for the beginning of the season. You get basketball, you get hockey with those drafts. So make sure you're in, make sure you're going. The more I think about it, I do love that Packers call. Because at some point, it's going to happen. The Browns are going to have a quarterback playing terrible, and they're going to bench him for a quarterback that's going to play even worse.
Even worse.
That's going to be the best DFS defense week on the slate. It's going to happen. It will
Micah Parsons messes up Joe Flacco, and they have to turn to Dylan Gabriel for the rest of the way.
It's
Fumblerooski.
Micah Parsons, man, he is an animal. I was rewatching that game this week. Dude, he is just an absolute force. There's only so many guys that get off the ball that quick. It is crazy how fast he can get off the snap. So very cool. All right. Well, hey, that's it for us. Bender, anything else on your mind to get out there into the world before we send them off on their way?
No, I think we've got it covered. I mean, listen, if you guys are looking for DFS work and stuff like that, I mean, again, listen, I'll say it over and over again, join the family and take that, 7-day free trial kicks in, and it's a great time to do it because today's Wednesday, right? So what are you going to get on Wednesday? You're going to get everything that we're doing for season long and for DFS, and full access within our Discord as well, which is absolutely huge. And then it kind of extends into the week after. So you're going to start seeing like the DFS watch list come out on Tuesday of next week. And you'll be like, oh shit, look at that. That's an interesting play. So take it for a 7-day free trial and then watch the contests you'll play in.
Pays for itself.
It will definitely pay for itself. So, and again, like the instant access, like you guys want your stuff answered here, right? In a timely fashion, whatever. I literally spend the first hour of my day in the Discord, just ripping off answers to questions that over and over again, right? I mean, so if people are like late night owls and those questions didn't get answered, whatever, I am like there. And that's like, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, my time. And I'll just kind of bang out those answers there. To be able to have that kind of access, I mean, come on, people.
Right.
Come on.
We're there for you.
FantasyAlarm.com/win.
You support us, we support you. It pays for itself, and it pays for a Star Wars Death Star Lego set.
It does pay for a Star Wars Death Star Lego set.
That's what it does. So make sure you're in there checking out all the content, not just from me, not just from Howard, from everybody. I mean, we take it so seriously at DFS that we have the overarching playbook that's got like everything in your 1,000-foot view. But I do a full tight end article. John Impemba does a full quarterback DFS article. Colby Conway does a full wide receiver article. Joe Galena does a full running back article. We make sure that every single thing is covered at a high level so that you can piece it all together and put together the best lineups. And that's how you get the Legos. First, you get the lineups, then you get the money, then you get the Legos. That's how we do it over at Fantasy Alarm, and we've been doing it for a long time at an award-winning level. So thank you, folks, for popping in the chat. We're going to catch you guys tomorrow. If you want to do a drafters draft, hit me up in the Discord, and we'll get you set up. Thanks, everybody.
Adios, turd nuggets.